U visa and victims of crime. Today's video, I'll talk about U visa and victims of crimes, and I'll add another component to it, hate crimes, because if you look at those requirements on the USCIS website, you will see that the crimes that are listed under U visa, you will not find a hate crime listed under U visa. That's why today topic, I will be discussing a little bit more about hate crimes and U visa. But before we go into it, I want to do a little housekeeping as far as consultation is concerned. For consultation, you can either call our office 202-751-2180 or email me directly, email on display. But be advised that we do charge for consultation, and moving forward, basically from this point on moving forward, once you call the office, what will happen is we will text you back requiring you to give us your full name and email address, especially if you agree with the consultation fees, so that you can sign the agreement and make your payment online. Then we will call you and talk to you. So basically, we will not talk to you until you agree to sign the consultation agreement and pay the fees, because we have noticed a lot of abuse on our time when we call people back directly without requiring the fees or the agreement to be signed upfront. So that's why we have changed the way we handle consultations. So that's exactly what we are going to go with this requirement. So basically, you sign and you pay the fee, then we talk to you. If you don't agree with the fee because maybe the fee is too high for you, then I would suggest that you look for free help. There's a lot of free help available: Legal Aid, CASA, ASAP. I'll try to find those organizations, and pretty much I will try to find them, and maybe not today, but I'll try to find them and list them on my website, so that people who do not have the means to pay for consultation, they can just go directly to those organizations. Because Bijoux.ngwanda Law Office PLLC, we are private. We do charge consultation fees because we take time to talk to the client and to advise them properly. That's why consultation fees is required, and the agreement is required to cover us for liability purposes. And on this channel, I do answer most questions generally, and sometimes even specifically. The reason I do that is because I have a disclaimer that protects me against liability. But if you really need your case to be handled the way it should be handled, please consider consultation, and you must sign the consultation agreement and pay the fee before we talk to you. Okay, we have cleared this one up. No confusion anymore. So let's move along. U visa and victims of crimes. How does it work? So first of all, you must be a victim of a qualifying crime or a criminal activity. It cannot just be you. Maybe you know somebody who has been a victim of a qualifying crime or a criminal activity here in the United States. You can share this video with them. The second requirement is you must have information about the crime or the criminal activity. The reason being is because some people, they might be victim of the crime and they don't have the information, so it's difficult to enable the USCIS to start the investigation. Remember, because they have to investigate to find out whether a crime has been committed or not. So you must have the information about that crime. So you must know what exactly happened. If you had witnesses, you have to have them available so that they can start the investigation. Another thing is that another requirement is that you will be likely helpful in the detection or investigation of a qualifying crime or the prosecution or the conviction. So you are going to help the Department of Justice or whatever agency that the people who will be investigating for the crime, you are going to be there fully collaborating with them so that they can come to the bottom of the problem. So you have to be able to do that. Those are the preliminary requirements. So what are the crimes that are considered qualifying crimes? We have here listed, you can see it on the USCIS website as well. We have abduction, we have abusive sexual contact, we have being held hostage, we have blackmail, domestic violence, extortion, false imprisonment, felonious assault, female genital mutilation, fraud in foreign labor contracting, incest, involuntary servitude, kidnapping, manslaughter, murder, obstruction of justice, peonage, perjury, prostitution, rape, sexual assault, sexual exploitation, slave trade, stalking, torture, trafficking, witness tampering, unlawful criminal restraint. Those are the ones that they have listed. But if there's another one similar to those that they have listed, as far as attempt, conspiracy, solicitation, it could be, if it's a federal crime, really, you just have to know if it's similar to any crime that has been listed here, so that you can qualify, or not just you, but anyone that can be qualified under the U visa, so they can apply and get benefits under that U visa. And the way it works really is that on top of the form I-918, there is another form, I-918 Supplement B. So that supplement is the one that you're going to give to a law enforcement authority for them to certify. So basically, they're going to fill it out and certify that a crime was actually, there was a crime. So basically, certifying that will give USCIS the authority to start the application process. If the law enforcement or another agency, basically, they don't want to, it can be a federal agency, state agency, or a local judge who can sign that form for you. If they don't want to sign it, unfortunately, USCIS will not process your application. That's why you have to really have information of the crime so that you can convince the law enforcement or any authority that are qualified to certify that form I-918B. So that's a supplemental form on top of the form I-918. So it's so crucial that you have information. That second requirement about having information is so crucial. That's why if you have information, enough information, it will enable them really to certify that, and then later on enable USCIS to start the process. That's why I'm really about the second requirement. Because you can have a qualifying crime, you can be a victim, but if you don't have information, it's really difficult to convince law enforcement or a federal agency to sign that supplemental form for you. So you have to have all the information available so that we can do that. Okay, and if you have some information and we can send that form and try to convince law enforcement, that's something that too we can do, try to convince them to sign and certify your form. But if you don't have enough information, it's difficult for them to just sign up, and because when they're signing, they're really certifying that a crime has occurred. So if you have less information, it's difficult for them to sign. That's what I'm saying. And basically, there's a lot of tips for completing the certification. It's under USCIS.gov website, and what type of law, criminal authority that has that authority to certify, it's still there. They give you some agencies, some ideas on how to go about it. So, and then the most important thing I was going to talk about is, for example, let's say that you have you met the requirement. You victim of qualifying crime, have information, and you're willing to collaborate with the Department of Justice, or basically law enforcement. You're willing to do that, and then what are you going to do? So what are you going to do is, if you are not admissible in the US, remember we've talked about inadmissibility before. If you find yourself inadmissible, then you have to file with a waiver. The waiver that you file with is going to be 912, I-912, because if you don't file with that waiver, unfortunately, they are not going to accept that application, because remember, you have to be admissible in order to receive a visa. And another thing that I wanted to add to on top of it is that, let's say that your case get approved. Once the case get approved, what's going to happen is you still have to wait for the visa to become available. This U category has limited visa numbers available each year that they give out each year. So you might have an application or a form that was approved, but you still don't have a visa because you have to wait for that visa to become available. That's another thing that a lot of people really get confused and keep talking about. I applied since a long time ago. My application has been approved, but I don't have my visa. I don't have anything. I cannot apply for a green card because you have to wait for the visa to become available. So basically, it's a waiting game at that point. And another thing is, on top of it, is that not just a waiting game, it's that when you wait for the visa to become available, at least you can get your work permit and start working. Really, you can get your work permit and start working when you're waiting for your visa to become available. So that's what I wanted to say. But now let's talk about hate crime. Okay, hate crime happens a lot. The way it is defined is that it is a prejudice motivated crime which occur when a perpetrator targets a victim because of their membership or perceived membership of certain social group or racial demographic. And that's happened a lot with immigrants. A lot of immigrants have been victim of hate crime just based on the fact that they are immigrants, okay? And what happens, sometimes they get their store vandalized. Sometimes if you have a store, sometimes they get your apartment vandalized. Sometimes you get threat, dead threat. That's so serious, especially if you have proof of it. Sometimes you get even your house burned out just because you are an immigrant, and those are serious crimes. So if you have information about those type of crime, it's considered under hate crime. Please don't forget to call my office. Again, we go back to the way it's going to work for consultation, and or email me directly. Still, the procedure for consultation is the same. So this video is pretty straightforward. If you watch it again, you'll find out that all the information are available on the USCIS website. The problem that we have seen lately is that people have been victims, but they don't have information. So if we can help you find those information, that will be the first step in the process. And once you find the information, then we start the application. And with the information that you will have, it's going to be easy to convince law enforcement to sign that certification for you. And the waiting time too, it's another problem. You still have to wait because processing time can take up to 30 months. So pretty much this can take up to 3 years because they have to do a serious investigation, because it's remember, it's a felony, it's a federal crime. They have to do investigations. So patience is required. Patience is just required in all immigration cases. And at some point when they really get too long, that's when you start considering either suing the same government that you try to get help from, but really at that point it becomes a little bit complicated. But anyway, that was it for today. It is a Saturday. It looks nice outside. I hope you're enjoying your Saturday. Don't forget to comment below. I always go back and reply to your comments. And don't forget to share, like, and don't forget to subscribe. Bijoux.ngwanda here, immigration lawyer in the DC metropolitan area, and this was U.S. Immigration. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.